half of our life is spent trying to find something to do with the time we've rushed through life trying to save. From Will Rogers. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob McCall. This is the Awanadjo Almanack, a collection of natural and unnatural events, rank opinion, and wild speculation devoted to feeling at home in nature and breaking down that wall of hostility between us and the rest of creation. And this is the Almanac for August 20th to 27th, 2010, and we're coming up on the full sturgeon moon. Here are some natural events for this quarter moon. I don't know about your town, but ours gets a whole lot more hectic and noisy in the summertime. This is because of all the people coming here for the peace and quiet. Honking horns, screeching tires, shrill car alarms, crawling traffic, all are engaged in the endless quest for serenity. If you're a tradesman or a merchant, summer may be your busiest time, and you have to stay right here in the trenches in the midst of the fray. But if you're fortunate like me and only work 1 hour on Sundays, anyway, this is a chance to flee where it is even more quiet and serene, and that's just what we did this past quarter moon, retreated to the silence of our camp on Cobscook Bay. First evening there, we listened to the high, chittering conversation of a pair of bald eagles in the woods near the shore, about 75 yards away. It's so odd hearing such a huge and ferocious bird with such a tiny voice, like listening to Jesse Ventura singing falsetto. The silence at camp was so deep it roared in the ears for the first day. And then the roar within became the roar without as we began to hear the Cobscook tidal falls churning through their 10-fathom deep channel a couple of miles away. With no moon at night, it was still bright enough to see by starlight as the Milky Way arched overhead, shedding showers of falling stars, and Mars, Venus, and Saturn sparkled through the treetops in the southern sky. On our last night at camp, Becky woke me saying, "Did you hear that? It sounded like a cat." And the next day, our neighbor came down to tell us that he and his wife had spied a mountain lion in their lower field around dusk the night before. Sandpipers flew in synchronized formation, flashing their white bellies over the calm waters, and clamors quietly raked the flats at low tide. Sweet peace. Here's a field and forest report. Blueberry rakers from southern climes are laboring away in the barrens, bringing in Maine's signature crop, relished around the world. Dressed in rubber boots and hoodies in the cool, foggy mornings, and sweating as the sun rises higher, they deserve our respect and gratitude for doing the back-breaking work that too few of us are willing to do these days. And from the orchards, the word is that, like everything else this year, the apple harvest is coming in early and looking good. Here's a mountain report. Belated praise is due to the Blue Hill Heritage Trust for their wonderful Mountain Day celebration with music, storytelling, food, and exhibits of all kinds, creating a real happening on the Hayes Field, while monarch butterflies frolicked in the milkweed and finches flitted through the skies. We are a town and a peninsula named after a mountain. What we do to the mountain, we do to ourselves and our posterity. Here's a saltwater report. We hear that the 60-kilowatt tidal turbine placed in Cobscook Bay by the Ocean Resources Group of Eastport has proven effective. This is a very hopeful note, which could be the prelude to much more clean electric power generated from this far corner of the state and the country with some of the highest tides in the world. And here's a rank opinion. We are now about halfway through the agonizing annual Humiliation of the Flag Festival, which stretches from Flag Day to Veterans Day. The main streets of many of our towns are lined with cheap Chinese-made polyester American flags stuck to utility poles and left to twist in the wind day and night in every sort of weather until they're in tatters and their colors fade away. Can someone tell me how this shows respect for our country? Hurrah for the pink, gray, and teal. And finally, here's a seed pod for you to carry around with you this week. Actually, two. The first from Mark Twain. We are the lavishest and showiest and most luxury-loving people on earth. And on our masthead we fly one true and honest symbol, the gaudiest flag the world has ever seen. And from poet William Carlos Williams, in summer the song sings itself. Well, that's the Almanack for this quarter moon, but don't take it from me. Go out and sing for yourself.